Your business problems are not business problems. They're life problems wearing a business costume. That cash flow issue you keep having, that's not a business model problem. That's the same relationship with money you've had since you were 22. That team member you won't fire even though they're dragging everyone down, that's not a management problem. That's the same conflict avoidance you have in every relationship. That inability to scale past a certain point, that's not a strategy problem. That's a ceiling you've built inside yourself. I've built multiple seven-figure brands and I've exited some. I spent $300,000 a month on ads. I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs. And I can tell you with absolute certainty, a messy life creates a messy business every single time. Today, I'm going to say some things that might be uncomfortable, but if you're honest with yourself, you already know they're true. Let me tell you when this clicked for me. It was about year 3 of building my first real brand. On paper, things were going well. Revenue was growing, products were selling, but inside the business, absolute mayhem. I was firefighting constantly, team issues, cash flow crunches that shouldn't have been happening at our revenue level, decisions that kept getting delayed, a constant feeling of being behind. And I kept looking for business solutions. I need better systems. I need to hire a COO. I need a new project management tool, Asana, ClickUp, you name it. And then when I looked really hard at myself, all of my problems in business, whether it was cash flow or management, I had the exact same issues in my personal life. And my wife Sarah pointed this out and I wanted to argue, but I couldn't because she was right. The chaos in my business wasn't random. It was a mirror. These problems exist in all areas of your life. They just wear different clothes. So let me show you what I mean. Let's start with money. I talk to entrepreneurs all the time who have cash flow problems in their business. And then you look at their personal life, a credit card that they've been carrying for years, no savings, no idea what they actually spent each month, lifestyle that expands to match whatever they earn, never looked at their personal finances properly in their adult life, and they're confused why their business has money problems. Well, your relationship with money doesn't change when you start a business. It just gets amplified. If you spent your whole life avoiding looking at your bank account, you're going to avoid looking at your P&L. If you've always been loose with personal spending, you'll be loose with business spending. If you've never built a personal financial cushion, you'll run your business month to month, always one bad week away from disaster. I see sellers doing $1 million in revenue with nothing to show for it, and they think it's a margin problem, a supplier problem, an Amazon or Shopify fees problem. It's not. It's the same money pattern they've had their whole life. The business just gave them more zeros to be dysfunctional with. Fix your personal relationship with money first. Get your finances clean, in order. Know your numbers, build a cushion, develop discipline with your own spending. Then and only then will you have any chances of building a financially healthy business. Now let's talk about conflict, because this is where I see entrepreneurs sabotage themselves constantly. You've got, say, a team member who's not performing. Everyone knows it, you know it, they probably know it, but you don't address it. Months go by, maybe even years. The whole team is affected. Good people leave because they're frustrated. Standards drop because mediocrity is tolerated, and you keep finding reasons not to have that conversation. Maybe he's a friend, maybe he's one of the family. No, they need to go. Now look at your personal life. How do you handle conflict there? That family member who crosses boundaries, do you address it or do you just avoid them? That friend who takes more than they give, have you ever actually said something? When something bothers you in your marriage, your relationships, do you speak up or do you just swallow it? The way you handle conflict at home is the way you handle conflict at work. If you're a people pleaser personally, you'll be a people pleaser professionally. If you avoid hard conversations in your relationships, you'll avoid them with your team. If you let people cross your boundaries in life, you let them cross your boundaries in business. I know entrepreneurs sitting on team problems that have been festering for 2 years, and they've got a litany of reasons why they haven't dealt with it. But the real reason, they've never learned to handle conflict anywhere. The business is just the latest place where that's showing up. Learn to have hard conversations. Start in your personal life. Get comfortable with discomfort. Your business is waiting for you to show up. Now let me talk about chaos. Some people are addicted to it and they don't even know. Their life is a constant drama, always a crisis, always something going wrong, always putting out fires, and their business looks exactly the same. They think they're unlucky. Why does this stuff keep happening to me, they might say. But if chaos follows you everywhere, in relationships, in work, in life, at some point you have to ask yourself, what if I'm the common denominator, right? Chaos is often a distraction, a way to avoid the real work. If you're constantly dealing with emergencies, you never have to do the hard, boring, important things that actually move your life forward. Chaos feels productive. It's not. It's hiding. I know entrepreneurs who've been busy for 5 years, constantly overwhelmed, always in motion, and they're in exactly the same place where they were 5 years ago because the chaos isn't a bug. It's a feature. It's protecting them from having to actually build something, make some serious moves. If your life is chaotic, your business will be chaotic. Calm the life first. Create order in your personal world. Build a foundation that's stable. Then you'll have the bandwidth to actually build something that lasts. Let me tell you what actually built my businesses. It wasn't a strategy. It wasn't a hack. It wasn't a course or a mentorship. It was sorting myself out first. My relationship with my wife, Sarah, getting that right. Building a partnership where we challenge each other, support each other, build together. That's the foundation. My faith, I'm Muslim. I take that seriously. It gives me principles to operate by. Boundaries I won't cross. A purpose bigger than money. That's the foundation. My health. I went through a period where I neglected it and everything suffered. Now I train, I eat properly, I sleep. Heck, I've got a whoop and an Aura ring. I track these metrics because I need to. Are these things boring? Maybe, but it gives me the energy to actually show up. Also, my finances, getting clean with money personally before I ever expected the business to be clean with money. My relationship, learning to say no, learning to have hard conversations, learning to set boundaries with people I love. None of that is business advice, but all of it built my business because I didn't bring a broken person into the business every day. I brought someone who'd done the internal work, who worked on themselves, someone who had a stable foundation, someone whose life wasn't a mess, leaking in every direction. The unsexy truth about entrepreneurship, personal development is business development. They're the same thing. So just to wrap up, guys, business is personal development, a path of self-improvement with higher stakes. Every limitation you have as a person will show up as a limitation in your business. Every pattern you haven't fixed will repeat. Every weakness you've ignored will be exposed. You can try to outwork it. You can try to out-tactic it. You can try to hire around it, but eventually the bills come due. The chickens come home to roost. Fix your life first. Get your finances clean. Learn to handle conflict. Build real discipline. Create order out of chaos. Do the inner work that nobody wants to do. Then and only then will your business become what it's capable of becoming, because a messy life will always create a messy business, and a grounded life, a life with real foundation, can build something that lasts. I hope you found it useful. Take care, guys. Peace.